Now comes Special Prosecutor Hank the Tank Brennan with 4 new items that he handed over the other day to the defense, including a 2-page state police report dated December 10th, 2024, a copy of Tully's notes in reference to said MSP report. I wonder what that's about. And then this is also really interesting, folks. A copy of identification documents of Chloe Albert. Lots happening in the world of Karen Reed. Hello, and welcome to Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, and we are not law enforcement. We are just people. People who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including this little Twitter X tweet from Ted Daniel yesterday about this new filing in regards to the Karen Reed case from the prosecution. Special Prosecutor Hank the Tank Brennan says he turned over 4 items to the defense. Obviously, the MSP report, Tully's notes, etc., the identification documents of Chloe, which I'm very interested in learning what that is about, hasn't been published to the public, obviously. This is going to stay close to the vest, obviously, behind closed doors, and we will see what comes of it. But yeah, this was dated and signed yesterday. Busy Friday, because you know how this team likes to work. Everything always gets filed on a Friday, and of course the Friday before Crimbus. So let's see what we can expect, I guess, in the next few days and weeks leading up to this next hearing that's going down in January. So, according to Boston 25 News, the prosecution, the Commonwealth, now comes the Commonwealth in the Karen Reed unaliving case, has turned over 4 new pieces of evidence. Now, I say new because it appears to be new. Like, this is a new report, right? Unless this is something, it's reiterating old information that it's come up in past trials, maybe elaborates a little bit more. I don't know, but it seems like there's some new things moving, some new motion in the ocean, if you will, and one has to wonder if that has to do with what happened during voir dire of Dr. Marie Russell, the dog bite expert from the other day, because it does mention Chloe. So let's get into it. In Norfolk Superior Court, notice of discovery filing dated December 20th, 2024. Special Prosecutor Hank the Tank Brennan stated, now comes the Commonwealth in the above captioned matter, and indicates that of this date, the following discovery and materials have been provided to the defendant through defense counsel. He indicated in the filing that a 2-page MSP report, a copy of Tully's notes associated with said report, and identification documents of Chloe, and a 4-page copy of a digital forensics analysis report of Jessica Hyde. I mean, This is just the age-old question that everybody's had on their mind. Where is Chloe? And if Chloe is still alive, and, you know, I never wish for anything bad to happen to animals, of course, even though this dog was, you know, trained to be aggressive, I don't think anybody can argue about that. Still, I mean, if we could put Chloe on the stand and have a dog translator, I mean, that would be amazing, right? She could tell us the whole story. She is a key eyewitness in this entire case, right? But for now, what I would settle for is if in fact she was rehomed to somebody in like Vermont or New Hampshire, if that person exists, and that has to do with some of these notes and new pieces of evidence that have been entered into discovery and handed over to the defense, obviously, that person is fair game for the defense to put on the stand, and the prosecution as well, too, if they want to nip that in the bud. I mean, that would obviously coincide with Nicole Albert's testimony, as well as, I believe, Brian Albert's testimony about the whereabouts of Chloe Albert. nevertheless, that doesn't necessarily prove whether or not she attacked Officer John O'Keefe, right? So, and we'll be able to run some additional tests there. So I'm very curious to see. We don't really have a lot of information in regards to what exactly the subject of the material is, but it is interesting that this has been handed over just a week after the voir dire of Dr. Marie Russell, or the voir dire, the voir dire round 2, right? So Chloe was the name of the dog that lived with the Albert family. Tully was obviously the subject of an internal investigation. I think he lost 6 paid vacation days or something like that. He had to sacrifice 1 cup of grab-ass, right? And then Jessica Hyde testified as the prosecution's expert in Karen Reed's first trial, telling the court that the 2:27 a.m. Google search timestamp did not mean a search occurred. And then we got that weird over-explanation, non-explanation that sounded more of like an infomercial for this guy's software, Ian Whiffen, to back that up. So I'm assuming that's what the forensic analysis report or update in that is about. But again, this just leaves me with more questions, and I'm most interested in learning about the copy of identification documents. So I guess that's proof of life, right? Proof of life that Chloe is in fact alive and living among the living. So in his court filing, he only indicates that the items have been turned over to the offense. The actual documents in question did not get published. In a 1-page Norfolk Superior Court filing obtained by Boston 25 on Wednesday, Brennan asked Beverly to establish a protective order restricting the public dissemination of all communications, which we did a video on the other day, so I will include that in my description box below, so you can click and catch up there. So again, that's also interesting, right? And now it seems like all of these things are starting to tie in together, right? Is this new information? Is this old information that just never was turned over until now? Because it's apparent that the defense is, of course, going to call one of their strongest witnesses back on the stand for round 2. And not only that, but they might actually expand what her testimony will include if, of course, what, if anything, Beverly allows her to testify to some of those additional things. But yeah, I'm just so fixated on the Chloe aspect of it. Where's the owner? Where's the new family that she's been rehomed to? Can we call them? Let's get them down here, right? Let's see if what Nicole Albert had testified to is in line with all of that, and let's run some tests and see if we actually have the canine, right? Can we run some tests and compare and contrast to, what those bites looked like, or dog attack bites, dog attack strikes, right? Abrasions from the attack that she did on the golden doodle, as well as on the passerby, the neighbor who was also attacked by Chloe. So let's get them all up on the stand, right? Let's really just tie it all up really nice. This order is necessary to effectuate the well-established privacy and safety interests of witnesses and the victim's family. So again, I don't know if this was a precursor to what, Brennan knew he was going to be filing this, and he's like, let me just get ahead of the game a little bit, because these are some of the things that I'm planning on doing. And if that's the case, I mean, I guess it's a smart strategy on their part, because you want to keep things as tight-lipped as possible, because people like me are going to yammer on and on about, hey, this all seems really, really fishy. This kind of stinks. And we're going to be very, very critical of every single thing you do going forward, because we saw the first trial. We saw what a dumpster fire that was. So can it get any better for the Commonwealth? I don't think so. But furthermore, certain materials being provided as discovery in this case may be evidence in an unrelated pending criminal case. So again, are those two things tied together? Because at first I had, my speculation theory hat on, where I was thinking more in the lines of, hey, a lot of the witnesses in the Karen Reed case are also witnesses in the Turtle Boy case, well, one of his cases, right, with the witness intimidation charges that he's facing right now. So I just assumed those two, that was the link there. But maybe it's not. Maybe there's more. I mean, again, in regards to Tully, I don't know. I'm still kind of going there with my brain, and I'm sure that Turtle Boy has some additional insights into that because he's literally the one who is involved in that case. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just so curious about this Chloe stuff. I don't know about you guys, but the filing didn't offer any specific details on the other criminal case mentioned in the filing. And here it is, you know? So, I mean, they have nothing to really worry about, nevertheless. I mean, it's all coming out. It's all coming back to us now, right? Yeah, the SJC is still determining if jurors who sat through her first trial will be questioned about their deliberation. I mean, apparently, I think they were supposed to have, come back with something earlier this month, but it seems like this is going to take months before it's published. Maybe they have come to a decision and they've kept it under wraps. I don't really know how that works, obviously, but I am curious to see how all of this is going to play out with the trial now being set for April. So we shall see. And yeah, obviously Beverly denied Hank the Tank's request for the phone records from Karen Reed's parents. So, I mean, again, there's not a whole lot of information here. I know this is a shorter video, but it's interesting. It's interesting, and I want to hear exactly what you guys think as well, too. What do you make of this, new 4-page report from Tully's notes? What do you think is included in that? What do you think this pending, unrelated criminal case, I mean, can it really be that unrelated if it's involving some of the same witnesses and players in this case? I don't know. And what about Chloe? What about Chloe? Where is Chloe? Hashtag where is Chloe? We need to get that trending, guys, or put up a billboard or something, because this is getting pretty crazy. And I mean, we've all kind of speculated from the beginning about what might have really happened. And I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to work out that she might not be among the living anymore, but nevertheless, I mean, let's see. Let's get things going. I'm excited to pick up where we left off with voir dire next month. So when we do, I'll be back here and at it again. But before then, we have plenty of other news to cover, and I'm sure the Karen Reed updates will not stop coming. Just because we're on holiday doesn't mean that they are getting a break. That's for sure. And when the next update comes, I'm going to be making a video about it. So if you don't want to miss the next Karen Reed update from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, and make sure you hit that like button, because that tells the YouTube algorithm that this is newsworthy news. And it is. We got to find Chloe, guys. We got to find Chloe. Hopefully, if she is alive, she's being taken care of the way that every dog deserves to be taken care of. It seems like the Alberts may not have been the best pet owners, just based on her extensive history of criminal behavior. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Happy Saturday, and I'll see y'all next week.